UA Unsolved by Handcrusher, parenthesis, AmeliaFromAFairytale, end parenthesis. Summary. Hey there, ghosts, Midoriya says. It's me, ya boy. The dorms are haunted. Shenanigans ensue. Notes. 4. Pit Viper of Doom. Inspired by Yesterday Upon the Stair by Pit Viper of Doom. A fic for Pit Viper of Doom's Yesterday Upon the Stair, which you should definitely read before this if you want to have any idea of what's going on at all. Probably gonna end up being AU, but who cares? The Yuts Discord has been poppin' with Yuts Unsolved ideas lately, so I just put them in a fic. Izuku had expected this. This being his classmates eventually catching on to the fact that something supernatural was happening in the dorms, even if they weren't quite sure what that something was. There were only so many times one could dismiss flickering lights, cold spots, mysteriously slamming doors, and small objects apparently moving when your back was turned, after all. It made hiding ghost scents more difficult, but he and his classmates were heroes in training. He'd be disappointed if they lacked the situational awareness to realize something was up. Izuku hadn't, however, expected this. Let me get this straight, he says, certain he'd misheard them. You want me to help you make a YouTube series about how haunted the dorms supposedly are? Rie is laughing her eerie, static laughter at his side. He's glad she's at least amused by this? Or maybe he isn't. The last thing the class, his sanity, and his reputation need is Rie taking this as a free license to mess with his classmates whenever she wants. Midoriya, please, you're the only skeptic. Bakuto doesn't believe in ghosts either, so it'll be hilarious, but also you're the only one who has a YouTube account and actually, uses it. Please, dude. Kaminari pleads while Ashido makes puppy dog eyes at his side. The dorms aren't haunted, he says for the nth time. Except they totally are, but please? Now Kirishima has started making puppy dog eyes, and Izuku can feel himself wavering. No, I won't fall for it. Stop making those eyes at me, he says, looking away only to find Uraraka making the biggest, wateriest, most pleading eyes he's ever seen. This is sabotage. Please, Deku, she says, clasping his hand. And he doesn't even feel that way towards Uraraka, but it still has the desired effect on him. All right, he says. All right, I'll do it. Now stop begging before I change my mind. The four of them cheer and run off, presumably to spread the word. Absently, he wonders how far they'll get into this project before Aizawa-sensei catches wind of it and threatens them all with expulsion. The camera turns on. The video is shaky for a second before it stabilizes. We're live, a quiet voice, Todoroki, says from behind the camera. Kaminari grins. Izuku sighs. It's nighttime, and they're sitting on one of the sofas in the common space of the dorm. The lights are low. Okay, welcome to our very first episode of UA Unsolved. I'm Kaminari, this is Midoriya. Today we'll be looking into the question, are the UA dorms haunted? Kaminari asks. Izuku makes eye contact with the camera. His pupils glint oddly red for a moment, and silently shakes his head. Let's get into the history of the location, Izuku says. 2 months ago, UA student Bakugo Katsuki got kidnapped by the League of Villains, and All Might was forced to retire due to injuries sustained in his fight against the leader, All for One, during the ensuing rescue mission. The public freaked out, parents freaked out, UA administration freaked out, and students were moved into dorms. There have been no untimely deaths since we moved in. Kaminari doesn't appear dissuaded. Still plenty of time before the dorms are built for the area to pick up ghosts, though, he says. He clears his throat, then turns to his right. The camera pans over to reveal half of one egg crowded on or around another couch. We asked, He begins, but is quickly cut off when all of them scramble to make their case first. "The dorms are haunted!" Uraraka yells. "The lights won't stop flickering!" Ashido adds. "I keep hearing doors slam when no one's around," Kirishima says. "A ghost keeps running up and down my hallway at night," Hagakure exclaims, the sleeves of her t-shirt waving as she displays her frustration. "Something keeps rearranging all my baking ingredients," Sato complains. "There has been an aura of death hanging over the dorms lately," Tokoyami says. Dark Shadow nods. He pauses. "Something also keeps turning the lights in my room on to full brightness." The video takes off faster than it should. Izuku, thanks in part to Mika, his active presence online in hero forums, and his status as a UA student from Class 1A who made it to the third stage of the sports festival, has a decent following online. When they post the video, one thing leads to another, which eventually leads to the whole class getting lectured during homeroom. "I shouldn't have to repeat myself by reminding you that we moved you students into the dorms for your protection," Aizawa says. "Frankly, it's too late to do anything about the video you've already posted, but please exercise caution when shooting any videos you plan to post online from now on. And remember that your actions in any public videos affect UA's reputation and possibly even yours down the line. Be careful." The class sighs. Most of them are relieved. They all have detention, but at least they weren't seriously penalized, and they can still post videos. Izuku sighs, because he thought Aizawa finding out would be the end of it. Looks like he was wrong. Uraraka moves about, trying to pick something up with the EMF sensor. It doesn't pick up anything at first, but when she turns around to face Izuku, it starts beeping wildly. Izuku shrugs. "I keep telling you, the only thing haunting the dorms is me." "Okay, so today we're going to try something I'm sure you're all familiar with. The Ouija board." Kirishima, Jiro, Kaminari, and Sato sit around the Ouija board. Izuku is off to the side, watching with thinly veiled amusement. He wears a t-shirt that reads, "Not a ghost, but dead inside." Uraraka and Ashido are both sitting beside him, excluded from the Ouija session in case their quirks accidentally affect the planchette. "Hello," Kirishima, the appointed speaker and question asker, says. "My name is Kirishima, and with me are my friends Jiro, Kaminari, and Sato. We'd like to speak with any spirits present in the UA dorms tonight. Is anyone here?" The planchette doesn't hesitate, moving to yes. The group gasps. Kirishima, looking nervous, calms everyone down before they can get too rowdy or off task. "What's your name?" he asks. The planchette is quick to respond again. "Little brother calls me Rie." "Rie," Kirishima says. Off to the side, Izuku's face is inscrutable and as tired-looking as always. "How did you—" Kirishima's next question is cut off when Bakugo kicks open the door to the study room they've commandeered and flicks the light on. "Eh?" he says, looking upon their group and the Ouija board in distaste. "What are you fuckers doing? Trying to contact non-existent spirits again?" The four at the Ouija board, who'd startled in surprise at Bakugo's sudden intrusion, refocuses as Kirishima sees an opportunity. "Rie, what do you think of Bakugo?" "Oi!" "Die." The planchette is suddenly ripped out of their hands and hurled at Bakugo's head. It hits him in the forehead with enough force to leave a red mark. Jiro and Kaminari guffaw, leaning on each other for support as Bakugo splutters, trying to form words around his rage. "Die, you ghost fucks!" he erupts, lunging forward to demolish the Ouija board in an explosion. "No!" Ashido wails. "We didn't even get to say goodbye! Now we'll be haunted forever!" "It's almost 3 a.m., Izuku says. The video is being filmed in night vision. He and Hagakure are wrapped in blankets and look to be sitting in a hallway. Izuku looks enormously displeased to be there. "We have class in about 6 hours. Just because Izuku looks like he never sleeps doesn't mean he enjoys being up at all hours of the night to possibly catch some spooky action at a distance. Hakakure claims she's been hearing someone run up and down this hallway every morning at 3 a.m. and thinks it's a ghost. Right on time, footsteps can be heard coming from the other side of the wall that divides the girls' and the boys' half of the rooms. They're rapid, running faster than someone should normally be able to go, and run the length of the hallway 5 or so times before disappearing abruptly. Sounds like Iida's doing some late-night exercise, Izuku says. Hakakure sighs in disappointment. Midoriya! Kirishima calls. Izuku, who's been looking down a dark hallway, whirls around quickly as his attention is snapped back to his surroundings. The glow of Kirishima's flashlight hits him right in the face. His eyes reflect the light like two shining beacons set in his face, and Kirishima yelps and rears back in shock. What? Izuku asks innocently. What did you see? A Snapchat story from Kirishima. The video is shaky and slightly out of focus, angled as though he wasn't supposed to be using his phone and definitely wasn't supposed to be recording video. The tail end of Ashido asking a question can just barely be heard. Named Shimura Nana? All Might, who is the focus of the video, goes pale and coughs up blood. Those present yelp and jump back to avoid being in the splash zone, but Izuku comes up beside him and pats him on the back as he offers the tall, skeletal man a handkerchief. All Might continues coughing for several moments. Ashido asked if he knew someone we spoke to through a Ouija board, and he looks like he saw a ghost? Hashtag confirmation? UA Unsolved, Episode 6, 3,521,718 views, 12,032 comments. Starfire 8912, 10 hours ago. Yo, what the fuck is up with Midoriya's eyes? Y'all might have, 8 hours ago. Who's the cameraman? They photoshopped the cat over! Combustion Junction, 3 hours ago. I swear to God, the entire class could be dragged down the hallway and into hell itself, and Midoriya would just say something like, huh, well that's one way to get around. Dippity Bazaar, 5 hours ago. I'm LMAO at 5:22 when Kaminari shrieks and all the lights turn on at once. Katriuso, 7 hours ago. Why does the EMF detector always go off when pointed at Midoriya? New theory. Midoriya is actually a ghost and is just fucking with everyone. Ooh, shiny. 2 hours ago. They literally have an invisible girl in their class. All she's gotta do is take off her clothes and bam! She can cause/get away with at least half the hijinks they're talking about. I'm with Midoriya on this one. XX doodled GXX 6 hours ago. Did anyone else see the face in the window at 8:19? A bunch of small trinkets. Chapstick, a few writing utensils, a mini stapler, that kind of thing, are being juggled. Wow, Uraraka, you're getting a lot better at your quirk, Midoriya says. I'm not, Uraraka says, looking from her hands up to the camera with wide eyes. I'm not doing that. Love Tins, reblogged, Vengeance Vegan. GIF 1. Midoriya facing the camera, eyes glinting, saying, Hey there, ghosts. It's me, ya boy. In a complete deadpan. GIF 2. Kaminari asks, Are the UA dorms haunted? Midoriya, at his side, shakes his head. GIF 3. A planchette hitting Bakugo right in the forehead. GIF 4. Can't skip leg day, Midoriya says, watching one of the exercise machines move on its own. GIF 5. Can you speak to us? Sero asks, holding up a spirit box. Fuck. Endeavor. Comes through the static. Todoroki almost drops the camera. GIF 6. Can you turn off this light? Ashido asks. The flashlight in front of her turns off. Kaminari yells, and every single light in the room turns on. Gift 7. Ghosts aren't real, Midoriya says. In the background, a door is repeatedly opening and slamming shut on its own. GIF 8. An incredibly sleep-rumpled Jiro squints at the camera. There's no one in the next room over, but... Shut up! Some of us are trying to sleep! GIF 9. Midoriya sits next to Mika. Both of them are staring wide-eyed at a blank wall. Peach lesbian. The case remains unsolved. 5,263 notes. Hashtag UA Unsolved. Hashtag when are they going to call an exorcist? Hashtag Q. The lights are out, and only the light from the TV screen illuminates the faces of 1A. Judging from the split-second glimpse of Pennywise, they're watching it. Half of the class is cowering and/or crying in fear. I'll take him. I'll take all of you. I'll feast on your flesh as I feed on your fear, Pennywise is saying. Uraraka has her face in Ida's shoulder. Ida had turned himself around, so he was sitting backwards on the couch and was facing away from the screen entirely as soon as Georgie got pulled into the sewers. On his other side, Izuku is laughing. This is great, he says quietly to Kirishima, who has had his eyes covered for about 80% of the movie so far. Kirishima looks at him like one might look at someone who can walk on lava. In disbelief, awe, and a little bit of fear. Who is the UA Unsolved cameraman? Self.UA_unsolved. Submitted 3 weeks ago by 21 paper. 241 upvotes. So, I love watching all these fetus heroes run around and scare themselves shitless over the apparent hauntedness of their dorm. But who's the cameraman? We've heard, I'm assuming, his voice a few times, but every time we see him, he's either blurred out or has Midoriya's cat's face photoshopped over his head. Not everyone in Class 1A has made an appearance, lending credence to the theory that at least one of them may have been expelled or scared off sometime between the sports festival and now, so it's hard to pin down, and it's possible he could be someone from one of the other classes, but I think, given that this seems to be an entirely 1A project, it's probably someone from 1A. My top 2 theories are, 1, it's Todoroki, Endeavor's kid, or 2, it's more than one person, and they switch off who's going to be cameraman each episode. Cat Logic, 147 points, 3 weeks ago. The Todoroki theory seems pretty solid, TBH. I know he's Japan's #1 hero right now, but it's not exactly a secret that Endeavor is kind of a jerk. It wouldn't surprise me if he holds his son to some stupidly high standard when it comes to representing the Todoroki family and Endeavor name, and the disguise is to prevent his dad from catching wind of him engaging in something like this and having fun. Desert Baby, 129 points, 3 weeks ago. Could be that tape kid, the one Todoroki fucking obliterated in the sports festival, Sero. I know he's got those huge elbows because of his quirk, but we've hardly seen clear footage of the cameraman's body, and a baggy enough sweatshirt or sweater could definitely hide his elbows well enough. I'd wager his reasoning could be embarrassment from the sports festival, or maybe he's a naturally shy guy. We didn't really see much from him. Alien emoji at Karakuracho 1 day ago. About 80% convinced that Midoriya from UA Unsolved died and came back as a corporeal ghost just to fuck with his classmates. 1. The eyes! What kind of strengthening quirk makes you always have red eye, or your eyes reflect light like that? 2. The EMF sensor going off almost every single time it's pointed at him. Tell me that's not suspicious. 3. The way he looks at clearly ghostly shit happening right in front of him and, dead serious, says, nope, There's still a logical explanation for this. Is the explanation you fucking with your friends? 4. The way he stares at nothing, like he can see through the veil. Someone call an exorcist, JFC. 5. Several people have pointed out that sometimes you can catch glimpses of him signing stuff. No one's ever caught more than a word here or there, but what better way to communicate unnoticed? That's all I've got off the top of my head, but seriously, Midoriya himself is way creepier than all the shit these kids think they're being haunted by. Alien emoji. Karakuracho. 1 day ago. 6. I keep telling you, the only thing haunting the dorms is me! He literally told us! Wake up, sheeple! Green tea bitch. At Puff Popcorn. 1 day ago. At Karakuracho. Maybe the real ghost was the friends we made along the way. Shh, shh, don't wake him up. The camera zooms in, becoming grainier. It focuses on Izuku, who's taking a nap in the common space, leaning up against nothing, apparently. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on here? I know he's like part cat or whatever, but falling asleep in positions that defy the laws of physics is a new one for me. Izuku snorts in his sleep, then appears to snuggle closer into his non-existent support. We need to call an exorcist. This week, we have a special guest. My friends, I'd like to introduce you to beloved pro hero, Present Mike. Hello, listeners! The audio crackles for a moment, then Mike coughs and appears to get his voice under control. I'm joining my precious students today in their quest to find out if the dorms are haunted. Ghosts, if you're real, please return my sunglasses. Those are my favorite pair, and prescription sunglasses ain't cheap. Flaming, raging, poisoning sword of doom. Reblogged, barely-human. Martyden. Not sure how many people are aware of this, but Midoriya, the skeptic from UA Unsolved, as well as the one who broke half his bones during the UA Sports Festival, actually has a ton of videos that aren't related to ghost debunking, and they're pretty entertaining. Hero merch unboxing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot more. This boy really loves heroes. Analysis of hero fights caught on camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And more. There's so many! About a gazillion videos of his cat Mika being the most precious one-eyed ball of fluff to ever walk the earth. Apparently has an interest in true crime. A couple of his videos, 1, 2, 3, on cold cases, have featured new theories that lead to law enforcement actually making arrests. This video of him petting every dog he came across while out in the city one day. He finds strays/pets that have gotten lost a lot and posts videos every time to help find them homes. Class 1A doing the mannequin challenge. A few kids from 1A trying to do the water bottle trick. This rant from the time he encountered an overly dedicated Endeavor fan in a Walmart. The 1A kids pulling pranks on each other. There's seriously a ton more, but please, if you like UA Unsolved, please check out his other stuff. You will not be disappointed. Art Bit Fried. OMG, what about that video? That's just him showing off every dumb shirt he has that says different kinds of shirts across the front, i.e. t-shirt, dress shirt. This kid is hilarious. I hope he makes it as a hero. 14,731 notes. Hashtag UA Unsolved. Hashtag We Are Midoriya stands first and people second. Hashtag Mika saved my life. Hashtag also I'm screaming at the thing about the true crime cases. Hashtag I knew he had videos in them. I didn't know his theories were correct though. Izuku, Tokoyami, Tsuyu, and Sero are in the middle of a heated Mario Kart race. Every time one of them makes it into first place, another one usurps them ad infinitum. Kaminari, Ashido, Kirishima, and Uraraka are cheering on from the side. Midoriya swats at his shoulder absently. Watch out for that blue shell, Todoroki says from behind the camera. It's too late. All 4 of them get caught up in the blast. It's the final lap of the final race now, and they're all scarily focused on the game. Just before they reach the finish line, the TV cuts to static. "What the hell?" Sarah whines. "This is the 3rd time this week." Someone ask Ida or Yamomo to let Aizawa-sensei know the TV needs to be checked out again, Uraraka sighs. Midoriya gets up and leaves the room unnoticed. Video. A 10-second clip of Midoriya and Mika, side by side, staring wide-eyed at nothing but a wall. Xenomorph. 327 likes. What do they know that we don't? Hashtag UA Unsolved. Hashtag Mika the Cat. View all 153 comments. Lesbian XP. All hail the cat goddess Mika. So.quite.contrary. X-Files music playing in the background. It's dark. The video is shot in night vision. The camera zooms in on Midoriya, who is passed out and snoring on the floor next to what appears to be his homework. "He fell asleep while we were studying," Todoroki says quietly. "I can't get him to wake up, but..." He shovels closer to the wall, and faintly the camera picks up noises of something on the other side. It's 3 a.m., and it sounds like someone's in his room playing video games? Quietly, he exits his room and turns to stand before Midoriya's door. The video cuts out for a moment, then starts up again, just as he's opening the door. For a moment, Todoroki's silent as he takes in what he's seeing. Hairpins floating in front of the mirror, and the computer loudly blaring Undertale music as the game appears to operate by itself. What the hell? "Bleep-kun? What's up?" comes suddenly from right behind Todoroki, and he almost drops the camera when he whirls around, startled. Midoriya is standing there, looking as wide awake as is possible for him, like he wasn't practically comatose on his friend's floor less than 5 minutes ago. His gaze moves past Todoroki into his room, and his hand shoots out to cover the camera lens. "You saw nothing." The camera clicks off. Notes. Edit 2.0, 5/11/2019. Sorry to disappoint, but I have basically fallen out of the BNHA fandom, so there will most likely not be a sequel/continuation of this. Please stop leaving comments that only beg for updates, lol. If you're interested, I'm more into Batman stuff right now, and I have a few picks for it. Boy, Midoriya's gonna have a lot of explaining to do when his classmates find out about Ghost Sense. Anyway, I was so excited when I realized Mineta had been expelled in Yut's canon, so I could put whoever I wanted in the room next to him. Bam! Todoroki is Midoriya's new neighbor now. This concludes the reading of UA Unsolved by Handcrusher, parenthesis, Amelia from a Fairy Tale, end parenthesis. Read to you by Mystic Malady.